Hey everybody, and Tony here with a review of Prokofiev's Peter and the Wolf, which was shown at the Salzburger Marionettentheater. The conductor for the Chamber Orchestra of Europe was the late, great Claudia Abbado. The director of this production was Greta Lindinger. The staging and costumes were done by Marwan Dib, and the voice acting and narration was done by Austrian actor and director Peter Ab. Now, who here remembers Peter and the Wolf and this very famous tune, the one that goes dum bum 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 ba-dum bum ba ba-dum bum ba ba bum 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 ba bum 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 ba. Yeah, that tune was basically stuck in all of our heads since childhood, and it certainly has played a part in my childhood as well. My first experience with this little musical play was when I was watching a trailer of this certain, musical, and it was an adaptation done by Disney in their musical shorts, which was a cartoon in the 40s or 50s with the same title. And then I started fully watching it when I was like grade 3. I was 9 years old when I watched this with my classmates back then. This was in CLC, Cebu Learning Center, my very old school. And I remember really liking it and having a lot of fun with that little movie. It was my first experience with Peter and the Wolf and the magical world that Prokofiev has immersed me into. And the instrumental arrangements for each character was actually very interesting and really suits each one of them. The violin belongs to Peter, the flute is the bird, the clarinet is the cat, the duck is an oboe, the grandfather is the bassoon, the hunters are mainly percussional instruments like drums and such, and the wolf belongs to a very powerful French horn. So these characters, in terms of the music, have a lot of very colorful moments, and it's absolutely fun, no matter how old you are. Now let's get on with the production. The production of this marionette play of Peter and the Wolf really evokes a lot of childhood fantasy. Like the trees, it doesn't really look like those trees that you usually see in real life, but it really evokes that type of dreamlike world that we immerse ourselves into. And it's very colorful, yet very childlike in its approach, meaning it's absolutely safe for all the kiddies to watch and also for the young at heart. And the voice acting done by Peter Up I thought was very solid, especially in the narration. He was so full of charisma and energy when he narrates everything that happens in this play. However, when he voiced Peter, he sounded a little bit too intelligent and a little bit too dignified. I absolutely loved it when he voiced the cat, the duck, the bird, and in some occasions the grandfather, and the wolf, and at times the hunters. But would it make more sense to have Peter voiced by, let's say, like category a voice actress who usually specializes in young boys a la Romy Park, Fujiko Takamoto, Makoto Tsumura, Pamela Adlon, E.G. Daly, and many other voice actresses who specialize in boys, like voice this type of character? Or category B, any child voice actor a la Aaron Dismuke when he first voiced Alphonse Elric? That would have made a lot more sense and probably would have given Peter like somewhat of a character, so to say. At least he managed to get that jovial curiosity associated with Peter. And for me, at times, would it make more sense to have like the grandfather like voiced by a more senior like voice actor in the business, and the wolf voiced by someone a lot more imposing? But aside from those little nitpicks, Peter Op was able to give such a huge amount of um, energy, charisma, and a lot of fluidity in each performance and every narration that really keeps the story moving. And the conducting done by the late, great Claudio Abbado was solid, was just well done. And what more can you expect from Maestro Abbado? He was a master at what he did. So overall, while there were a few nitpicks in terms of the voice acting, though very minor as it is, I still enjoyed it nonetheless, and I thought that Peter Op was able to keep the story going with such energy and flair in his voice. Not to mention, the production really evokes that of childhood nostalgia whenever it's being watched. And for those parents who have children who are very interested in something like Peter and the Wolf to be seen on stage, go ahead and make them see the marionette version. I'm sure that they will have a lot of fun with it. And especially for those children who have also watched the Disney short of the same name, Peter and the Wolf, if they loved the animated version, I'm sure that they will also love the marionette version as well. Well, that's all for now. Be sure to tune in later this evening where I review the Lida Abend starring Anna Prohaska. So until then, this is Antoni signing off, and have a nice day.